Phase 3 trials of Covaxin, which is a vaccine produced by Bharat BioTech, is facing hurdles as not enough volunteers are coming forward to participate in the trials. A crunch of volunteers is being reported in at least 3 cities. While the national capital faces a shortage of about 650 volunteers, in Bengaluru only 500 volunteers have come forward to participate. Mumbai also is facing a shortfall of 481 volunteers. At least 1,000 volunteers are needed for this particular phase of trials. And we're going to go across to our reporters in Delhi, Bengaluru and Mumbai to understand the reasons for concerns. Let me start off with Delhi. Ayushman, this has been a concern in AIIMS specifically for a while now. In fact, just a couple of days ago, AIIMS had even put out an advertisement asking for people to come forward by the 31st of December.
Yes, Arthi. In fact, the refusal rates in the Covaxin third phase trial is high. This has been asserted by the AIIMS administration as well. We spoke to the principal investigator as well as co-investigator. Both of them accepted the fact that there were people who felt that in a short while from now, India will be receiving the vaccine, and why should they participate in a trial? And when they are being told that it is a blind trial where they can be given the placebo and vaccine may also be given, so there is a 50-50 chance. That is the point when people are actually taking their names back from the participation. As of now, till today, Arti, the officials are confirming us that about 350 out of 1,000 people have actually been given the inoculation shot, and it is still very far from 1,000's number. And this is not just here. We are being told that in other centers as well, similar situation is there, because people are now being hopeful that very soon the vaccine rollout will be there, and that is why there is no need to be participating in the vaccine trial.
Okay, that's interesting, Ayushman. People in Delhi not participating, thinking that a vaccine is just around the corner. Disha, what about in Mumbai? You've spoken to a few doctors, you've spoken to the hospitals. What are they telling you as the reasons for this huge shortfall and the reluctance in volunteers coming forward?
Well, Aarti, there are 2 designated hospitals here in the city of Mumbai that have been clearly said that they will have to do clinical trials of COVID vaccine. These 2 hospitals are JJ Hospitals and Sion Hospitals, which are BMC-run hospital here. And as per the ICMR guidelines, there are about 1,000 volunteers that they need. But if you actually combine the volunteers, the response that they have received, it's not even 500 for that matter. And that is the concern which is really raising. And couple of reasons what the doctors have told us right now is one, of course, they do not really the long duration, because the first 2 trials, they did not have any problem as such, but the third trial is definitely because of the long duration of hours, because of like Ayushman pointed out, that the vaccine rollout is going to happen anytime soon, so they believe that there is no need to go another trial or so after, of course, the 2 trials particularly. And another, transport issues, because here particularly the local trains have not opened up for everyone here in the city of Mumbai and MMR as well. So that is perhaps all of these reasons combined together. But these 2 hospitals are facing massive volunteer crunch at this point in time. If you talk about JJ particularly, only about 99 or 100 have come forward so far. If we talk about Sion, only about 350 plus have come forward so far. And by December end, 31st is the deadline where they have to select at least 1,000 volunteers and start the clinical trial. So that is perhaps not really happening as of now, and they may seek an extension for selection of volunteers because of the response that they are getting at this point in time.
Okay, Shrija, similar shortage and shortfall being reported in Bengaluru as well, an acknowledgement for which has also come in from the hospitals. How are they planning to make up, and how are they planning to make more volunteers come forward and participate in this very crucial trial?
Well, the situation as far as Karnataka is concerned is no different. It's something similar as far as Delhi and also Bombay that we are reporting at this point in time. And of course, we did get in touch with the Vaidehi Institute. The president himself has addressed to Mirror Now by saying, yes, we are facing a shortage, because remember, initially, a lot of people had shown interest. They were trying to inquire about the Covaxin, the indigenously developed COVID-19 vaccine. And of course, once they had signed up, there were at least about 1,000 people, but the people who had turned up is only about 400 to 500, which means we understand the Vaidehi Institute here in Bengaluru is falling short of nearly 600 volunteers. And he also goes on to say, considering the 31st is the deadline, he will also be seeking, the hospital will be seeking an extension, and is also appealing to the Karnataka government to do more as far as motivating people and also encouraging them to come out. He's also asking the government to get in touch, tie up with the celebrities so that people can get encouraged and also know more about getting administered with Covaxin shots. Now, if you're really taking another scenario as far as Jeevan Rekha Hospital in Belagavi district of Karnataka, what we hear from Paritosh, the person who's the doctor who's looking after, overlooking this entire vaccine trial, he also tells us that only up until now, in the last 2 to 3 weeks, only 300 people have turned up for the vaccine trial, and the rest of the people, they are still looking, because during the initial phase, when there was so much, we understand that Dr. K. Sudhakar himself, the medical education minister, when he had launched the entire human trial as far as the Covaxin is concerned, he did talk about that we are getting at least about 1,600 volunteers. But now we are understanding from Jeevan Rekha Hospital that they are struggling for volunteers. Initially, they did get at least 2,000 people to, in fact, get the inquiries, and they had at least 1,000 people as far as enrolling for the trial, the vaccine trial. But now the people who have got only shot is number 300, which means we're looking at several hospitals who are conducting this human trial of Covaxin. They're struggling to get volunteers, and they're seeking government's help, and they're asking government to step in and encourage people to come out and take the shots.
Right, so we have seen enthusiasm, I think, peter down leading up to the third phase of trials. Now, Ayushman, one of the reasons for this is also fear and misinformation. But it is important, Ayushman, to highlight that in the reports that have come in the first and the second phase of trials, there have been research papers that have been published by Bharat BioTech and Covaxin, which show there are no real side effects, not much adverse effects that have been reported in those who've taken these shots.
Yes, Arti. In fact, the immunogenicity and the safety is something that gets determined in the phase 1 and 2, and the results of phase 1 and 2 of the indigenous co-vaccines are out, and in that it has been established that the vaccine is safe, and currently still the further studies are to be conducted, which the efficacy data is to be ascertained in the third phase, and for that reason only we have seen that over 26,000 volunteers will be there on whom the trials will be conducted. It's a larger group, perhaps the largest in the world, where we are seeing the efficacy data will be calculated. For now, Arti, the first phase and second phase data which has come, it has clearly said that in both the phases, no adverse reaction was seen. In the first phase, it was there that when the injection was given, at that spot there was some pain, but that too, in every age group, the vaccine was received. Normally, there was no adverse event. So this is what the experts are also saying, the investigators are also saying, that the safety and efficacy is something that has to be determined only after the human trials is completed, and for that the volunteers are very much required, and it is the reason why the doctors are appealing for everyone cutting across the age group above the 18 years of age group. They are appealing everyone to come forward and participate in this vaccine trial, where people can be vaccinated to see and efficiently monitor over the data which will come out after phase 3, to know if the vaccine is efficient enough to be administered on Indian population or not.
Okay, Ayushman, Disha and Shrija, thank you so much for joining us, bringing us this update. This is a very important story, and it's important, of course, that all the myths and the fears surrounding receiving these vaccines are cleared. Now, earlier, Mirror Now's Ayushman had spoken to Dr. Puneet Mishra, who is a co-investigator of the third phase of human trials in Covaxin in AIIMS, Delhi. Now, he has said that there was a crunch in volunteers as people were misinformed over the vaccines. Take a listen in.
I think we are in a good position because the earlier, as you said, Dr. Sanjay Rai has pointed out that there was a little less enthusiasm in one community at the place where we were doing the trial. But now, after that, we have advertised it for in different media, and we are getting good response. By yesterday, more than 500 people, they have shown their interest, and the number is increasing. I don't know, I mean, by now, it maybe I am quite sure more than 750. Today, till now, we have vaccinated more than 50 people since morning, and the number is going, and I think we have crossed 350 limit, total number of participants, and very soon we will achieve 1000, which is our target.
Sir, what do you think is the possible reason that such a decline is witnessed? Because in the first phase, if you see, or even in the second phase, we saw people coming out in large number, but here the refusal rates are high. And this is not just in AIIMS Delhi. If we talk about all India's context, everywhere we are facing this. What is that information which is available to you?
See, there might be many regions. Let me narrate one region. There is a area, Dakshin Puri, where we were doing the phase 3 trial. Initially, there was a huge enthusiasm, and then less and less number of people started coming. Then we have, when we have spoken with them, some of them, they said, okay, now vaccine is coming very soon, and the list has been prepared, and they were under impression that they are going to get vaccine maybe in a week or two. So they said that if they are going to get vaccine, then why should they participate in trial? So this is one reason. There might be many other reasons, because many times if there is any rumor or misinformation, it goes into the community, then it has its implications. There is a need to tell the right thing, and that's what we have done. I mean, when we have interacted with them, we have used the social media, TV, and other channels, radio. Lot of people, they have shown the interest, and I think very soon we would be able to complete the desired 1000 number.
So you are also the co-investigator in this trial. What is the status of all across the country? If we talk about the other centers, what is the feedback that you are getting from there?
Truly speaking, I don't have much idea about all the sites, because the Bharat BioTech, they might be having, or ICMR having the idea. But yes, there were news that at few centers they were finding some difficulty, but there's good news as well. I was speaking to somebody, and I came to know that in Patna in last 3 days they have enrolled more than 300-400 people, and their samples has increased to 700 plus. So the people they are showing, it's a question of going to the right community and telling them the right thing, so they can take the decisions based on the correct information.
Sir, one last question on the elderly population participating here. We have seen in AIIMS the elderly population coming forward and setting a sort of example. What is that perspective? What are people telling when they are coming for the vaccination trial?
See, this is phase 3 trial, and we are doing trial on all the individuals who are above 18 years of age. If they fulfill our inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria, then they are most welcome to join the trial. Many of the people, because ultimately the vaccine would be rolled out for everyone, whether you are elderly people or you are young people. So definitely we require elderly people as well, because they are part of society. So they are coming, and many of them, I mean, those who are fulfilling all the criteria, they are most welcome to attend, and they are coming with great enthusiasm. They are old people as well, elderly as well.
We're slipping into a short break, but plenty more on the other side, so stay tuned.